Why did Tom Coughlin? Why did the Giants and Tom Coughlin separate?
You know, it's tough. It was tough for me to watch it happen and to be there throughout that time. I mean, not only do I work for Fox, but I'm also a part of the Giants broadcast team. So I'm there every week. I do the Coach Coughlin press conference show, and for me, it was extremely difficult for it to take place, and because of the love and respect that I have for Coach Coughlin. I wouldn't be the person I am today, the player I am today, the father I am today, without his influence in my life. My rookie year, my father passed away, and my second year, Coach Coughlin is the coach who took over, and I mean, what better role model to have in your life to look up to and to see every single day to teach you the principles of not only being your best every single practice that you're out there, but being the best person that you could be in your life. So I owe him a great deal of gratitude for the way that he's helped me and my daughter Addison in my life. Is it a mistake that the Giants let him go? You know what? It's the nature of the beast of the NFL.
I think that you didn't make the playoffs.
I understand,
and you have respect as a former player of
his.
I'm looking at this objectively and just saying, do you keep your job if you're not making the playoffs 6 of the last 7 years? In this case, we saw that no. Yeah. And that's usually the case in the NFL and the way that it goes. You've heard it for a long time. NFL, not for long. It's about winning, and it's about having a championship culture, which Coach Coughlin built the foundation for that for us, and that's how we were able to win 2 Super Bowls. But it was difficult for me. It's still difficult. But at the same time, sometimes change is good. Change is for the better. And I know Coach McAdoo, who spent 2 years on the staff with Coach Coughlin, what he's learned from him. You heard it in his press conference earlier saying, you know, we're keeping the clocks 5 minutes early around here. That's something that Coach Coughlin established, and it's very important that we do that because of what it means and what it does for you as a football team and building you as a character. So, is your watch set ahead?
I'm 7 minutes fast.
Yes.
Yeah. I was a 5th rounder, so I had to do 7 instead of just 5.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I had to be 2 minutes earlier than that. So I'm still on that same clock. And like I said, the values and the principles that he's taught me in my life have led to the success that I'm having now. And it's the same thing that I'm preaching to my daughter.
Luck versus Wilson versus Cam Newton. If you can build a team around those quarterbacks. So you're the starting lineman.
Okay.
And you can have any of those quarterbacks. You're building a team. Who do you want as your quarterback?
It's a tough question. I mean, they all bring so much to a team. I would put, as hard as it is, I would put Andrew Luck third for me because of his health. Being a football player is about accountability. It's about being out there every single time, and he's been injured, and we've seen what it's done to that football team. Number 2.
Now, I'll give you Aaron Rodgers.
Number 2, I would do Cam Newton. Number 1, Russell Wilson. Yeah. The ability as an offensive line with Russell Wilson run play action.
This is Paulie's greatest day ever.
To be able to run play action, for him to be able to use his legs, bootleg, move the launch point as an offensive lineman, being able to be aggressive and jump set people. I mean, that's everything.
But the thing I'm not concerned, but I would be curious about is how long Russell Wilson is able to play like that. As he gets older, is he able to do that? Whereas Andrew Luck will be able to still play the way he is playing. Cam Newton, I think, has learned to not run as much.
Yes.
But Russell, I think, because of his legs, he's so dangerous. But can he do that when he's 31?
But you don't see Russell take those big hits.
He runs out of bounds. Can he still run away from people at 31?
I think that he can.
Okay.
I think that he can. And I know that you said about Cam Newton, look at what he's done for his football team because of his ability to run. I mean, the last game of the season, I saw him running over defensive linemen on 4th and 1 that were lower than him, had leverage, but he's just so big and powerful. And the biggest thing that he is doing now is he's playing with confidence because he knows going into each and every game he's prepared to play at that level.
Should we make a big deal about Chandler Jones with this story, with synthetic marijuana and he shows up at the police department on Sunday morning without his shirt on. Like, if you're the NFL, what do you make of that story?
I mean, I don't know what to make of it because we're still trying to hear all the facts of what specifically happened.
Do you punish him?
I think, the biggest thing is I think when something like that happens as a team, it hurts you because you're talking about things outside of the game and the playoff game that they're playing on Sunday.
But they're so well-versed in talking about diversions, that stories. I mean, this is nothing to the Patriots.
And I think that they're going to win the football game on Saturday. Chiefs are 0-5 the last 5 times they've been in Foxborough. Julian Edelman is the X factor for that offense. The minute he got hurt in that Giants game, you could see a complete change in the way that they were able to move the football. I mean, they averaged 34 points when he's playing in those games. People want to doubt, he's been out so long. People said the same thing about Percy Harvin going into that Super Bowl game. We saw the impact he had on the Seattle team. And the other thing, they play that spread offense, which can spread out that 3-4 system that the Chiefs run. And the other thing is that for Kansas City, their running back's a little banged up, and their offense isn't one that put up high amount of volume of numbers and touchdowns like the Patriots could.
Give me the upset.
The upset. I'm going, I don't know if it's in the playoffs. I really don't think they're upsets. I think that Carolina's going to beat Seattle. I think that Denver's going to beat the Steelers. I think the best game of the weekend is going to be that Carolina-Seattle game. I think the Broncos are going to beat the Steelers. Yeah, the Steelers beat them on, I think it was December 20th. But they had 17 points, I think, that they were down. But at that same time, Roethlisberger was healthy. D'Angelo Williams was healthy. Antonio Brown was playing, which he's out of that game now. That definitely hurts the Steelers.
What about the Packers?
I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to win that football game. I think the Arizona Cardinals showed who they were as a football team last year, even without having Carson Palmer in there. Now the way that they're playing, the way that they are able to just, I think, play at their tempo, not play at the other team's tempo. Their offense is fast, high-paced. The defense is sound. They're disciplined, and that's one of the biggest things that you've seen. Aaron Rodgers' best plays in football right now are ones where they're trying to substitute. He's getting a free play.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the biggest impact plays that he's had all season.
So we had the road teams last week. We have the home teams this week.
Yes.
It's a topic I love to bring up, your fingers.
Yeah, I know. The beat-up hands.
Did you ever think about getting them fixed?
I actually have them fixed.
Those are fixed.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, buddy. This is fixed. I told you, that's permanent. I have, I think, 8 screws in here that's got a pin that's holding my finger. That was 2011 Vince Wilfork.
And that's your ring finger.
Yeah, on my left hand. And then on my right hand, I had my thumb sewn back on. These are ligaments. But, I mean, like I said, this is the only time during the wintertime where it really
arthritis?
Hurts. Yeah. I mean,
do you have any great story? Like, was there
164 games in the NFL, your hands are going to get beat up.
Any, like a famous player break your finger or
no? Well, I told you, Vince Wilfork in 2011, we played the game to snap their home winning streak, and he spun, and my fingers spun with his shoulder pad.
Worst injury you saw somebody play through?
I mean, you could talk about offensive linemen. I mean, high ankle sprains, broken hands. You have to play.
Were you holding Wilfork? Is that why? I mean,
no, my finger got stuck. I had inside leverage.
But you were holding
my hands inside. It's only holding if you get caught.
Well, you got caught in his jersey.
Yes, I got caught in his jersey and his shoulder pads, and my finger went with him. And that was the thing that the doctor said is he's like the force and the impact of Vince Wilfork because he is so big. My knuckle was like powder on the side because it basically crushed together.
Did you continue to play?
I played the rest of the season. Yeah. You put a cast on and you have to go. The problem is then once the defensive linemen see that you have a cast, I mean, they're hacking away right at your hand.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. You think, like I said, as a football team now, that's the biggest thing now that I think that people talk about fantasy. That's the biggest thing that it's impacted is people's knowledge of injuries. I mean, you get alerts on your phone. This guy has an ankle. This guy has a right wrist. Back in the day, you didn't have those. Those injury reports were very sketchy.
Should we
I didn't
do it?
know exactly what was wrong with people.
Should we have that information available?
I mean, yeah, you have to turn it in. So it's
No, but it's there for gamblers and fantasy.
Well, I mean, look at what fantasy has done for football. It's only helped the game. It's expanded it because of people are watching games based on players, based on defenses, based on kickers that they would never watch before. It may be a game that's a blowout, but people have that defense. They're going to watch the entire game hoping that they get points. So it's only helped the game.
David Diehl, Fox analyst. His Twitter handle is @DavidDiehl66. It's always great to see you.
Always great to see you. I have to give one shout out.
Okay.
My buddy Drew McGrath. He's in a cubicle right now in Chicago with a headset
Drew.
on. You met Drew.
Yep.
He's hiding right now watching the show. He's got another baby on the way in 4 weeks. Congratulations, brother.
So, Drew, not doing any work watching this program.
That's right. He's like Office Space right now.
I like that.
What would you say you do here?